Hi there. So this has been quite lengthy exercise going through advanced MIDI controllers, touchscreen, iPad ad with different digital audio workstations. We have come to an end with Reason, so let's dive into Reason and see how to use these controllers with Reason and then continue with next topics. Let's get going with Reason. Okay, let's start with Machina. And Machina is a MIDI controller, or it's actually an instrument, sampler and MIDI controller and all those things together. So you have a pad type of a controller that you can use to play music. Either you can play drums like finger drums, or then if you put it into the keyboard mode, so you can play keys, or even if you put it into the chord, you can play chords. So it's extremely convenient to kind of jam and create new ideas. And how Reason is integrating with Machina is pretty awesome, as well as any digital audio workstation. It has been done well in that respect that Machina integrates nicely with all the digital audio workstations as well as with Reason. So with Reason, I think the easiest way to configure it is to create a channel for each audio. So you can use the Reason mixer to mix everything in. So in here I have a bus into where I put every drum instrument into that drum bus, and then individually I have bass, arp, and harmony coming. How to set up Machina with Reason? I have an example video on that, so I will not go into configuring this. I will just explain that how these type of controllers can be used in general with Reason. And here I basically have one track in which I have currently the Machina. In the other video I also showed the way to send MIDI in and from Reason to Machina, so you would like to most likely check that out. Anyway, here we will just focus on these controllers and how to use those in your music creation. And as you can see, Machina is pretty easy and easy to be used with Reason. One thing I might actually show is that when I configured Machina, I basically then did the routing from here to individual mix tracks, so that I can then take an individual channel and route it into the mixer. So here basically I can then say that I add a device and I create a mix channel, as I have done. So I have created all these mix channels, and then I have grouped them accordingly like I showed. So yeah, this is one way to use advanced pad controllers, and in this case Machina with Reason, and it's fairly straightforward and easy peasy. Alrighty, next we will have an iPad controller, which is Metagrid Pro, and here you can easily create different type of layouts, and then, you know, if I would like to add a button over there or what else I can create that, then I can go into the object and define a macro that what happens when I press that button. So as you have see here, I have Shift Command M to kind of create a mix channel, and then, for example, here I have Command D for audio channel, Command I for instrument track, and so this is, and then of course changing the view like F5, F3, if you want to program them into here. So that's basically extremely easy to configure, build different type of layouts for your needs, and then create these macros. So let's look at few few of those. Let's go into the layout. I'm just gonna clear that one, and I'm gonna split it so it's what I had. So yeah, let's for example look that if we create a instrument track, it brings the selection into it, and then I just can, you know, select the instrument to be added into my project. I can easily change, you know, from mixer to rack to browser to bring the browser up, sequencer, and so on and so forth. So that is quite easy and straightforward then to manage and maneuver between different views, as well as of course start playing. Or then, for example, if we go back to the sequencer and we select the track, if I would like to just delete that track, I just press delete track and it goes away. I have different type of edit functions here that I can use to edit the project, like the clip, the fade outs, and all those. All that is very customizable, and you can easily create these macros based on your taste and needs. So this is an extremely good controller in that respect, and the versatility of this is great because A, it actually supports all different kind of digital audio workstations, and then B, you can easily create your own layouts and your own functions and keyboard shortcuts into here that then helps you with the workflow. So let's move on. Next we will look into a quite versatile controller, advanced controller as well, a MIDI controller, or you can also of course do different type of other macros with it. And you have a software which is the Monogram creator, from where you can actually do all this programming. So you can do assign different type of MIDI commands or Mac OS commands and profile things. Or then if you would like it to work in a joysticks mode, then that's also doable. So this can be used with many software, but of course with Reason and with audio software, I have mainly used it for MIDI and sending MIDI commands to make my play a bit more expressive. So as here you see now that I have these sliders and then the buttons, but I can also extend this with rotary controllers or buttons to select and define those. Like here I have defined that when I press this button, it will send a note C -1 octave channel 1. So basically commanding in this case Abbey Road 1 to change the style of a play. And as said, you can easily extend this with different type of controllers. I have these faders, rotary and knobs that I've been using and programming to be used with different virtual instruments. I do have a profile also for the external synthesizers that I can use for modulation purposes. So this is totally, of course, up to you how you want to use it, how you want to, configure it. And this is quite straightforward with the creator software from Monogram. Okay, let's look at Monogram in action. So here I have now the programmed profile for Abbey Road, and I can control basically here. In my case, I'm now controlling expression and dynamics. So I can do different type of swells, or if I want to kind of program those in, it's much easier to do the kind of the automation also using this controller than the mouse. So that's definitely one benefit. And then of course, if I would like to change this different type of style of play, as I have programmed it over here, so I can do that as well. then of course I have controlled these rotary controllers to be used in different other ways. So that's basically how then it is to be used. But as is, it gives good flavor in your play and more variety into your expression. So let's move forward. Alrighty, let's pause the video over here and continue next Thursday. Remember to subscribe for the channel for more content. See you next Thursday. Thanks for watching. Bye now.